Hello YouTube, how's everyone doing? It's Professional here. So today I wanted to talk about Arena Wars, and I wanted to talk about what made the DLC kind of a failure. And I'm sorry for saying that as some people enjoyed the DLC, but Arena Wars was not a successful DLC. And how do I know this? I know this because if you look at other DLCs, if you look at, for instance, the Doomsday Heist, plenty of people are playing the Doomsday Heist. Plenty of people, if you look towards the gun running update, plenty of people are still selling their bunkers. They're making money in free mode doing that. Plenty of people are still playing the bikers update. They're selling their MC businesses. Plenty of people are still filling up their CEO crates. People are still doing import export because those DLCs were good. So a lot of these DLCs, even from years back, people are still playing them. But people aren't playing Arena Wars. They stopped playing Arena Wars. A large percentage of people have stopped playing Arena Wars. Now, what happened? What made Arena Wars so unsuccessful? Why did it die down so easy? And, this relates to a future DLC because I don't like going off of rumors, but a lot of people have been saying that a future DLC will be Arena Wars Part 2. That's a really big rumor that's been going around, and I really hope that rumor isn't true. And a lot of comments that I've read from people online, people are very, very unhappy with that. People really don't want Arena Wars Part 2. I have barely been able to find any comments of people supporting an Arena Wars Part 2. I even asked my live stream at one point, would you guys like to see an Arena Wars Part 2? The whole chat exploded with just no, 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 no. And I don't blame people. I agree with them. I think Arena Wars Part 2 would be really bad. So what happened? What did Arena Wars do that was so bad? Now, first of all, Arena Wars was different than most other major DLCs because Arena Wars was the first DLC that was set up as an adversary mode. That's what it was. The whole DLC was basically an adversary mode. We got adversary modes in the past, but when we got adversary modes in the past, they were in event weeks. Here, the whole DLC revolved around an adversary mode. And in order to play that adversary mode to the best of your ability, you had to buy a workshop. So we had to buy a whole new property for that DLC, for that adversary mode. And, when I first bought that property, I actually got kind of excited. I wasn't against the DLC being an adversary mode. I actually thought that maybe it was a good idea at that point because I figured, this is the arena and the arena hasn't been open before in online. So I got excited that they finally opened it up. And the first cutscene that I saw of Alan Jerome coming out, he's like, we're going to get rich. We're going to get rich, you and me. And, I sincerely believed at that time that the arena was going to be able to make us a lot of money. I actually did think that then when I was first playing it on the first day, because the cutscene, when you first watch that cutscene, it makes it so believable that you're going to make so much money from that place, like another business. Unfortunately, that was not the case. When I played the first few modes, the pay was just awful. It was just so bad. I would spend like 20 minutes on these matches, and I wouldn't even get that much. I'd get like $40,000, $50,000. It was just pretty bad. And what happened was, I said to myself, the pay is really, really bad in this. They gotta increase the pay on this. They gotta make it double money. And then I looked at it, and it hit me. It was already double money. And I said, oh my. If the pay is this bad right now, and it's double money, what is going to happen to this DLC when it stops being double money? If the pay is this bad with double money, how bad is it going to be when the double money ends? A lot of people are going to stop playing it. They're not going to bother with that DLC. And I said that in December. I said that in December when that DLC first came out. I said, this DLC has the potential to really be a failure because when the double money ends, a lot of people are going to stop playing it. And I was right. If you go on Arena Wars right now, you'll be able to find some people playing, but barely anyone plays it. There's very, very few people. I can't really find lobbies to connect to anymore in Arena. And people stopped playing it because the pay was just so awful, and I don't blame them. People are doing other activities. Why should somebody grind in the arena when they could just do other activities? They could run businesses and things like that. And, some people are going to argue with me, and they're going to tell me, but the Arena Wars, it's set up as an adversary mode for fun. I get that, When people play adversary modes, they play them for fun. That's understandable, That's understandable. But the problem is that when people play these adversary modes, they're looking for fun, but they're also looking to make money. And if they're going to be spending all this time in these adversary modes, and they're not going to be making any money back, they're not going to be playing it. They're not really going to bother with them. And my evidence for that is if you take a look at any other adversary mode in this game, and I'm so shocked, I really am, that Rockstar has not learned from this. I've been playing this game since day one, and I've seen the adversary modes in this game die, pretty much. GTA Online is nowhere near dead. There's plenty of people playing it, but these adversary modes have essentially died, because barely anyone plays it. I used to enjoy Slasher. I like playing Slasher a lot, but now nobody plays Slasher. I can barely find any matches. The only time I can find Slasher matches, is when it's double money on Slasher. People play these adversary modes when they're double money. But when the double money ends, people stop playing them. You can look to almost any adversary mode they've released. When they have that first week, those adversary modes are out, there's double money, people play them. But after that, people just stop playing them. And I don't blame them because the pay, it's pretty bad on that. But the pay wasn't the only thing that was bad about the Arena Wars. There's also so many other things. You had to buy a property just to use a custom vehicle. And if you didn't use that custom vehicle, you were put at a huge disadvantage. I bought all the Arena War vehicles, even the really bad ones. I bought them all. And I played against teams in the arena that had no custom vehicles. They were just using the standard default vehicles, and I destroyed them. If you did not have a custom vehicle, you would be at a huge disadvantage in the arena. And I felt kind of bad, destroying the enemy team. But at the same time, I realized I paid for these vehicles, so I thought that it was fair for me to use them. But it doesn't just go into that. The vehicles were just so overpriced. They were so overpriced. The upgrades were so expensive. The base price for them were so expensive. And I saw trade prices on these vehicles, and I thought to myself, okay, there's trade prices. Maybe it's not that bad. The problem is I realized how you unlock the trade prices. In every single other DLC we got, to unlock the trade price on vehicles, you had to do that new business. If a DLC came out with a new business, after a certain number of sales, you would unlock trade prices for those vehicles. And that was perfectly fine with me because you would play the business, you would make some money, and you would get a discount on it. That was perfectly understandable. I like getting the trade prices on that. But here, the trade prices were completely different. The unlocks, they were completely random. They weren't based on how many matches you played or things like that. It was all random based on your rank. And the rank went all the way up to rank 1000 in the arena. Nobody is going to sit there and get all the way up to rank 1000 in the arena. I don't think that anybody's even actually going to get up to rank 1000 in the arena, at least not until GTA 6 comes out. Nobody is going to, I sincerely believe that nobody is actually going to get up to rank 1000 in that. I pretty much gave up on the arena. I haven't played it in weeks because everything was just so expensive. And the upgrades, it doesn't just go to cars, it also goes to clothes. The clothes were so overpriced in that DLC, and clothes were locked behind trade prices. Clothes. How can clothes be locked behind trade prices? I have never seen something like that. And it gets even worse because the upgrades that you had on the vehicles, there was 3 variants. You had the Nightmare variant, the Apocalypse variant, and then you also had the Futuristic variant. And if you wanted to change variants on the vehicle, you had to buy a whole new vehicle again. You couldn't just take it into the workshop, change it from a future vehicle to an apocalypse vehicle. You didn't have that option. You had to buy the whole vehicle again. So if you changed it to futuristic, you were stuck with futuristic on that vehicle. And certain upgrades on certain vehicles, even though they're supposed to be the same thing, certain variants were better than other variants. But it didn't matter because you would have to buy the whole vehicle again. That's what got a lot of people angry. And that DLC, it destroyed my bank account. It did destroy my bank account. I wasted so many millions of dollars on that DLC. I spent so much more on that DLC than I spent on the other DLCs, and I wasn't able to make it back. And I will never, and I'll tell you this, guys, I will never be able to make the money back that I spent in the Arena Wars DLC. The main reason that I spent all that money in that DLC was so that I could show people why buying these vehicles was not worth it. I have plenty of money, so it doesn't bother me. I don't regret buying any of that stuff because I wanted to show you guys why it wasn't worth buying. But a lot of people, if a lot of people that don't have a lot of money in this game, they bought a lot of that stuff and their bank accounts were just absolutely destroyed. They were hoping that they would be able to make money back in the arena, but the pay was just so bad in the arena and they have no hope of making that money back. You will not make that money back in the arena. Even if you were to buy just one vehicle in the arena and fully customize it, that would take you weeks just to make that money back. But the last DLC before the arena, the After Hours DLC, I upgraded my nightclub all the way, and within a week, just a week, I made all my money back and more. But the Arena Wars, I'm never going to make that money back. And that's what was just so bad about it. The trade prices were unlocked by random with the ranks, and it just annoyed people. It didn't really offer any content, didn't really offer any money-making opportunities, and it was based on playing with other people. All the other businesses in this game, you could do those solo. Some of them were really hard to do solo, but you could still do them solo. The Arena Wars, you couldn't do that solo. You had to wait for other people. And if other people were not playing it, you couldn't play it. So now what basically happened is there were so many people that spent so much money on these vehicles, myself included, wasted millions of dollars on these vehicles, and now they have nobody to play with. And that's what really scares people about Arena Wars Part 2. Arena Wars Part 2, it's probably, if they do something like that, it would probably be the same thing. It would just be adding a ton more vehicles, maybe a few new modes, but nothing would change. Do you think that Rockstar is going to come out there and say we were wrong about the trade prices, we're just going to revert everything back? That's not going to happen. They're going to keep the whole system, and that's why I think it's better at this point. It's better to scrap the whole arena and just forget about it. Leave it as it is right now and just forget about it. I don't think that the arena can really be fixed. Some things that they could do better is maybe add a co-op mode, some type of co-op mode where you could play with your friends in the arena. Why are there no modes against AI? And maybe adds a business element to it, some kind of other money-making opportunity, but that's not there. What we need in a DLC is not an Arena Wars Part 2. We need a DLC, something like the After Hours DLC. And that's why I said the After Hours DLC was one of the most underrated DLCs. People back then in June said the After Hours DLC was the worst DLC they ever played. After Hours is nowhere near as bad if you compare it to Arena Wars. I'm not saying Arena Wars is the worst DLC ever, and don't get me wrong, some of the game modes in the arena I enjoyed, like I enjoyed the tag team mode, I like playing that with my friends, but when it comes to just making money, people are not going to play these modes and just grind endlessly up to rank 1,000, hoping that they unlock that trade price for that item they want. They're probably going to unlock close before that. So if we take a look at other DLCs, like the After Hours DLC, that DLC, I enjoyed the majority of it. The only thing, I'll be honest with you guys, the only two things I didn't like about the After Hours DLC was I thought the above ground portion of the nightclub was kind of disappointing. The above ground portion didn't really offer much, and what else I didn't like is I didn't like the Oppressor Mark II. Now, that's subject to debate. Some people like it, some people don't. I personally didn't think that it was a good addition, but that's my opinion. But I just didn't like that the above-ground portion of the nightclub wasn't as detailed, and I think a lot of people can agree with me on that. But other than that, that DLC offered a lot of content. It added a terabyte, added client jobs to it, added a nightclub, a whole new business, gave us custom vehicles, gave us a lot of different cell missions, added business battles. There was a lot of content in that DLC, a lot of vehicles like the B11, a lot of stuff was added in that DLC, and it was great. It added also the DJ missions. Even though some of the DJ missions weren't great, they were still in there, and that DLC was just packed with content. It was a new business, and to this day, people are still using the nightclub. I'm selling the nightclub every other day because it's such a good business. It's such a good way to make money. That's what we need in a future update. We need a new business, a new property, something fun, something that's not going to be boring, that's not going to feel like an endless grind, makes us good money, and is fun. And, we can play it with our friends, play it with other people, add some new customization, maybe some player housing, maybe mansions, maybe let us customize the interiors, like, things like that, make a different style of business, not like a passive business or a cargo business, something unique, something different. That's what people want in a DLC. When I asked people on my stream, would you guys rather a new business or Arena Wars Part 2? Almost everyone said new business, and I agree with them. We need a new business. Why can't we go back to the way we had GTA Online in the past? Just businesses, stuff like the MC businesses, like import-export, something unique, something new. They could do a naval business even, and they could do some kind of business on the water, smuggling, something like that. There's just endless possibilities they could add to this game. Please, Rockstar, don't put it into another adversary mode and make it so expensive and just locked behind trade prices. That's why people didn't like it. And I have a full review of the Arena Wars if you guys want to check that out. It should appear on the screen right about now. So if you guys want to check that out, I have that review there. But let me know what you guys think down below. And, sorry for talking so much here, but, I was just so passionate about the subject. And I really didn't like the way, the direction they went in for Arena Wars, and I really hope that they don't do something like that again, because that DLC, it really hurt me inside, because you waste so much money on the DLC. Some adversary modes are fun, sure, but in the end, you're not going to make your money back, and it feels like an endless grind, and they really got to stay away from that. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, drop a like. If you're new to my channel and enjoy my content, subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care, everyone.